Everybody. My name is Aaron Whittier. Tonight's a special Zoom. This is something that we just put together here tonight, and we wanted to do this because there's so many incredible stories and testimonials with people using these devices. So, if you're on here tonight live, maybe just here to learn some more about the devices. This isn't really that. It's just really for stories. Or if someone shared this recording with you, we're happy you're listening to it because these devices are truly changing people's lives. And you're going to hear 10 or 11 stories tonight, real quick stories of people's experience with these devices. One thing we have to be very careful of in this industry is really sharing testimonials, right? Because we can't make medical claims. It's very dangerous, right, to make medical claims. So we have to be very careful what we say. But just know this, that we're going to try to do our best to not say medical terms but also share what these devices has done for these people. So I'm going to get myself right out of the way, and I'm going to bring on Andrea. Andrea, can you come on and share your testimonial for us?
Hi, I'm Andrea Davis. I'm in Kalamazoo, Michigan, in the USA. And I have actually four really quick testimonials for you. The first is my husband, who has not been able to feel his feet and legs since 2019. They were like pillows at the end of his legs. And the first time he sat on the machine for a 20-minute session, he walked out and said, "You were going to buy it and you're going to sell them because I can feel my toes." And now we've had it for a little over a month, and he can feel his feet and his legs, and his feet are no longer purple. The second one was my aunt. She came over. She's always in pain. She's always using a cane or a walker. She's 80 years old, and if you touch her, she hurts. She's just in so much pain. Her bones are crumbling. And she called me the next day after her 20-minute session and told me, "I'm coming over to buy a machine. I'm bringing you the money and I want you to order it tomorrow." And I said, "What's going on?" She says, "I haven't walked with my cane at all since I've been over and I feel great." So that is just absolutely amazing. And she's doing amazing, and she still hasn't used her cane, and she's had hers for a couple of weeks now. My third one was my stepsister came over. She at one point was over 400 pounds, and she's recently lost weight, and she's trying to get in to have her knee surgery done. But her knee is so swollen, and she still has another 44 pounds to go, and she's in pain. So I said, "Come over and try it." And she came over and sat down and tried it. And I asked her to call me the next day and let me know how she was. She said she was not getting up and going to the bathroom 3 times a night like she usually does. Um, she slept really good, and the swelling in her knee went down overnight. So she's really excited. She's up north in Michigan right now, and she's coming down again next week, and she's going to use it again. And then me, I actually overdid it this last week. I spent a couple of days cleaning because I found flea, and I totally tore apart my house and cleaned and scrubbed and vacuumed and washed clothes and washed the dogs, and the next morning I woke up and I couldn't stand up straight. And I put the belt on backwards, put it on my back, and I sat down for 20 minutes. And I had an event to go to that night for networking. And I thought, "Oh, I'm not going to be able to make it." And I literally stood up after 20 minutes, and I stood up straight and I had no pain. And I went to my event and I stood for 2.5 hours talking to a bunch of other women about our product. So that's it.
Oh, Karen, you got to unmute. Go ahead
I'm
and unmute.
just
There you go. There
okay.
you go.
Hey, I'm in a pool, guys. This was a spur of the moment testimony, but I want to share. I have a special needs son. He is 53 years old, nonverbal. And when I saw the video of the blood analysis, I'm like, I'm getting this. So we have been able to use it pretty much every day with him since I think the end of March. And we do low and slow. So he does under 5. So usually between 2 and 4 that we put the settings on the P90 Plus is what I purchased. And we are seeing some cognitive improvement with him. We're seeing a lot of more eye contact. He just the other day did a double where he communicated. He signed finish, and then he took my husband's hands and touched him to he had the shaken on and touched him to the shaken. So he was telling him what he was finished for. Excuse me. Usually when he's science finished, we're not sure what he's finished with. So it's pretty cool to see him do that double communication there. And it's exciting to see just the improvement. Like I said, it's slow, but I'm fine. I'm fine with doing slow with him because we don't want to overdo it and you know, cause any kind of issues with detoxing and that kind of thing. So, and plus we do use the shaken with him and he loves that. And it's helping him with constipation and digestion. So that's my testimony.
Hey everybody, my name is Shai Alexander. I'm a health practitioner from Toronto, Canada. I'm 67 years old and I'm still practicing. I will tell shortly about my experience with this. I always open to any new technologies, and I went the first time to a friend of mine who called me and said, Alex, you must see this. I went there on July 9th. The first time I used for 20 minutes P90 Plus, and I would like really show you the first result I ever get, and I never see that before in my practice. It's about my vein, varicose vein on my leg. This is before. You will see July 9th at 2:47 p.m. This is 23 minutes after July 9th, 3:10. And it's still the same until now. That's number one, which like completely blow my mind. It's just one-time use on the July 9th this year. I got the product on 21st of July, and I used the first time the massager I have had, I would say, I had an injury for 2 years. That shoulder bothers me mostly at the end of the day after seeing my patients. I'm osteopath, manual practitioner, registered massage therapist, and registered acupuncturist, 3 in 1. And I used the Vitalux massage on my shoulder again, one time. And it's like unbelievable, incredible result. I don't feel any pain, maybe 5% when I have to really force it. There is much more, because what I'm doing right now, everybody comes to the treatment. I say, do you have extra 20 minutes? Yes. I put in the feet, I give 3 video, and while they're sitting, they can't leave. They watch these videos, and after I ask everybody, there was no one who said, I don't feel anything. No, they leave the room very happy, very free and excited. Thank you.
Well, hello there. I'm Kendra Kropp. I'm from Neenah, Wisconsin. I saw these devices on Facebook, and from Kristen, I was watching her posts, and I messaged her one day and said, what in the world is this? And back then, I was dealing with a lot of headaches, so of course I was living on OTC for a while, and I bought the P90 plus the goggles, the eye goggles. I bought the foot device and the goggles. And I thought, you know what? I woke up one morning and I had this massive headache, and I thought, man, well, my first reaction, of course, was to go for the OTC. And I thought, wait a minute, Kendra, you have 2 devices right here in your house. So I put my feet on the device. I put the goggles on. 10 minutes, my headache was gone. And it's amazing. And I don't have headaches anymore.
Hey everybody, my name is Anna, AKA Spicy, for all of you out there. Hello. So I was turned on to these devices by my friend Amy on Facebook, and I asked her what she was doing. She told me about it. It sounded really intriguing. And so I decided to purchase the P90 Plus. And I have a plethora of ailments. Let me just rattle them up off real quick for you. So, and when I was 30, I had back surgery on my A1, A5, S1, S1. Oh my gosh, you guys. L1, anyway, I can't remember what they're called, but my lower back, two places on my back, I had surgery. And then the next morning I woke up and I couldn't lift my head off of my pillow. My neck was really swollen. I have really, thanks to my mom and dad, thank you, mom and dad. My mom, I got really bad leg cramps from her. And I sometimes go to bed at night and my legs will cramp up on me. I'm like Charlie horses in my legs and in my feet and in my ankles. And then also I have a fractured left wrist that has bone on bone now. And I also have what's called an essential tremor from my dad. Thanks, Dad. So as I'm getting older, my hands shake more, really annoying. And then recently, I found out that I have two tears in my my right shoulder, along with some bone on bone. So I had reasons to try these devices, and I have been using them between 2 and 3 months now. I use the Revitalux on my shoulder. I've noticed huge decrease in pain and inflammation in my right shoulder. When I go to bed at night, I feel like I can sleep more comfortably. I don't have to lay in one position anymore on my back with my arm propped up all night on a pillow. I don't wake up sore or just super stiff in my shoulder anymore. The leg cramps, my hips, my legs when they are sore or I feel like I'm going to start cramping up, I'll get on the P90. And when I get off, the pain is gone. I don't have the discomfort that I usually do. I haven't had leg cramps since I've been using these devices. I take magnesium glycinate every night before bed too, but for sure these devices have helped with that. I haven't had any back pain, neck pain. So I am living proof that these products work. We have doctors that we go to that prescribe, pharmaceuticals and therapies to us, but we finally have products that we can use from the comfort of our own home that are natural therapies, and they are so worth trying. I'm so glad that I was turned on to these products. I am in all the way. I plan on using them for the rest of my life. And I just want to encourage people to try them because they really do work. So thank you so much. And you guys have a great night.
Hello, everyone. I'm coming to you from what was my grandpa and grandma's farm in very rural southern Minnesota. And about 10 years ago, I injured my back pretty severely. And after searching for chiropractors, I finally found one that was about an hour away. Long story short, she had a PEMF machine there, but she would work with me for about an hour. So that was about 3 hours out of my life. If I didn't, and then I always got to use the PEMF loop, and it worked every time, and the pain would go away. But long story short, over the last 10 years, I've had anywhere from mild to moderate to severe back pain. And this winter, on one of my farms, I have about 5 acres of wildflowers for pollinator plot, and it had become overgrown with about 2,000 cottonwood trees. So the only way to get that out in that situation is with a chainsaw. And of course, I can handle that. Severe injury, sciatic, it was grueling. I couldn't stand for more than 2 minutes without severe pain. Went back to the chiropractor. It was helping, but not much. went about 5 times. Anyway, in May, late May of this year, I finally got a hold of Aaron and said, I got to get that P90 plus, which is what I got. Long story short, the first time I used it for about a week every day, thought I was cured. The pain kind of went away. So I grabbed the chainsaw again and it hurt again. But then I'm like, okay, let's just take some time with this. And didn't go back to the chiropractor, but I just kept using it once a day at least, sometimes twice. Um, we're at the end of July now. I'm back to doing anything I want physically. I have zero pain and it's amazing. Like I love my chiropractor, but there's no reason to go back because her machine is probably 15 years old. I think this technology is way better, and I'm a firm believer. So there's other things that it's helped me with, but that one to remove chronic severe back pain to, now I always thought I was about 25 or 30, even though I'm in my 60s, but now I can kind of do what I used to be able to do then. So thanks, Aaron.
Good evening. I am Dee and I am here in Torch Lake, Michigan. And I am going to share a friend of mine's story, but real quick, now that you mentioned that, Curtis, my husband was adamantly going to the chiropractor weekly, sometimes several times a week, because he's a builder. And he's taken a toll on his body. He has not been to the chiropractor since we have had this device for 4 months. So I'm getting ready to go in there and ask him if he's missing somebody and let him know why. But I really want to share my friend's story. I was at church one morning, and after church, I was talking to a friend of mine, and another friend had approached us, and she was hobbling on her crutch. She has one of those crutches that you can strap your knee in and still use your hands. So we call it her peg leg. So she had approached us, and we were just, shooting the breeze about how things were going for her. And she had explained to us her frustration because she had been dealing with excruciating pain for a couple of years. And there was some discrepancy with the insurance companies and trying to get her MRI ordered. So she was just super up in arms. And my friend, the other gal, said, it sounds like you need to try Dee's device. And I was just sitting there going, oh, yeah, you should try my device. So she came over the next day and I put her feet on the P90 Plus for 20 minutes. She got up, and I am not kidding you, she had no pain. So she went skipping away, and she called me 2 hours later and she said, how long does it take to get this? I need it. I said, why? What's going on? And she said, I have been doing laundry and all kinds of chores. I've been folding sheets. She goes, I feel like dancing. She's like, I am dancing. I have had no pain. So fast forward, I ran into her. This was several months ago, and she got her P90 plus. I ran into her at a church function last Friday evening, and she was expressing the fact that her and her husband had went to the UP on their anniversary. And if anybody knows about Northern Michigan, you definitely want to do some hiking while you're there. So she was thrilled because I can't remember what the distance was that she was able to hike with her husband for her anniversary, but she is going strong, loving it, doing it every single day. Of course, she took it with her and she was just so grateful. So I just love sharing this. I love hearing the stories. Every single person that I get their feet on this device, they feel it and they have a story of their own. So I just encourage everybody to try it. You don't have anything to lose. So thanks for listening.
Hey everybody. My name is Kristen Hawk and I am from Nokomis, Illinois. Um, I joined Aaron back March 3rd, and I have a million stories that I can tell you, but he limited me to one.
Clown show. Clown show? Bouch couldn't even name the color of his tie. But his pen pal Bill.
You unmute. Go ahead and unmute again.
All right,
We just there you
sorry.
go. Yep, no worries.
So I can talk a lot and I have all kinds of stories, but I'm going to just talk about one that's recently really near and dear to my heart. So my grandma is 88 years old, and about a month ago, she was getting up out of her kitchen chair, and she has tile floors, and she slipped and fell. She landed on her right side, or no, her left side, sorry. She landed on her left side, and she ended up breaking her shoulder. She's left-handed. She does, everything with her left hand and her left side. So, she ended up going to the hospital. She was admitted to the hospital for about 3 weeks, went through therapy, all the things. And when she got out, I took her my P90 plus. And I'm like, Grandma, you need to try this. And of course, she's 88 years old. So she's like, I don't know what this is. And I'm like, just trust me. All you have to do is put your feet on it and sit there for 20 minutes. You can do that. And so I took my device there. I left it. She had a 24-hour nursing caregiver there with her. So I explained how to use it. And, she helped take care of that for me while I wasn't there. But I started her on just level 1, and she did it every day for 20 minutes for about a week before her first follow-up checkup with her doctor. So she went back to when she followed up with her doctor, her doctor was just amazed. He's like, I can't believe you're healing so quickly. For her age, it's odd for somebody 88 years old with a broken bone to heal quickly. And he's like, I cannot believe you healed so quickly and everything looks good. And he was just so surprised. And I told my grandma, I'm like, well, Grandma, I told you that this was going to help and it was going to work. And of course, she was like, well, I'm not telling my doctor that I was using this, I don't remember what, some voodoo foot machine or whatever she called it. But she's like, but I feel really good and it doesn't hurt. And, so that, yeah, I've got stories upon stories. If you guys need a story about anything, I'm sure I've got it. I've got 7 kids. I've got a big family. Me and my husband are both in EMS. I've got stories upon stories. And you guys, these devices are amazing. I own every single one, and I use every single one for something specific. So if you just need to try it, and trust whoever sent you to this live or sent you the video, and just give it a try. And that's all I've got.
All right. Let's see.
Hi, y'all. Angie Braddock. Well, my face was there, and now I don't see it.
Yeah, I'm trying to get you replace this there. You're trying to replace the spotlight. Phil, can you find Angie Braddock there? Angie, I see your. Let's see. I don't see your face, but let's
Yeah, I've
see.
been there the whole.
Go ahead. I can't even spotlight you because I don't see your face. But go ahead and you can just talk.
That's weird. Okay. Well, anyway.
Put your camera on,
Yeah.
Angie. It'll help.
What's that?
What's that, Phil?
Your camera's off, Ange.
Yeah, no, she's tried to turn the camera on several times, but you can just tell a story, Angie. Go ahead.
It wasn't working. I came back 3 different
I saw
times.
you.
Then
Oh, there you
oh,
are.
there I am.
Coming
Okay.
back.
I
Now we
don't
can
know. I've got
spotlight.
some gremlins
There you
going
go.
on tonight. I don't know.
It's
But
all
anyway.
good.
Okay. Yeah, it's all good. Angie Braddock from Jacksonville, Florida. Happy to be here. And I have all the devices, and I love them all. I don't want to forget anything, so I might be looking at my notes because I get so excited talking about this. Sometimes I might forget a point, and it's too important. I don't want to forget a point. I'm just going to talk about 2 of them because of time. Um, but I'm obsessed. That's why I have all the devices, and they all work like they're supposed to, and I'm blown away. The P90 Plus, first time I was on it, it gave me energy. Noticed that right away. If I use it later in the evening, I turn the frequency down. And then instead of it giving me a lot of energy, it actually does the opposite. And it actually makes me very relaxed. If I have any stress, I may not even realize I have any stress. It literally melts it away. I get the best sleep of my life. Instead of getting up 3 or more times in a night, now it's once. And so my sleep is amazing. And that does wonders for you. If you've ever been without and now you have better sleep, you know what I'm talking about. And also, I don't have inflammation anymore. I had a lot of inflammation, achy joints, and now I'm running around like I'm in my 40s or 50s instead of being 65 next week. I mean, it's amazing to me because I used to feel like, I don't know how else to explain it, like just take me and snap me in half. And that's basically some pain that I used to have and even getting out of bed. And now I don't. And so it's almost mind-boggling to me. It's like I'm in somebody else's body, but I'm loving it. And so also I love to walk. I used to not be able to walk 2 days in a row because I would ache. Not now. I'm walking 2 and even 3 days in a row. I don't hurt after walking. I had a knee replacement 2 years ago, March, and to get down on that left knee, I really dreaded it. And it felt like there might be, I don't know, a bunch of nails or something in that knee. It did not feel very good at all. And I'm not feeling that now. And I'm actually getting a little bit more feeling in that knee from where it was numb. So that is so exciting to me. Y'all, I would have paid any amount of money in the past to feel this good. I wouldn't get emotional, but that's just how good I feel. And this is actually priceless to me. I mean, actually, it's priceless. Let's talk about the shake and massager real quick, aka the belly blaster, and that is a great name for it. 4.5 inches off my waist, so bye fluff. 2 dress sizes. So excited. And also you flip it around, you can, and use it on your back, my low back. So since 2000, I've had 2 bulging discs on my low back. I don't have that pain anymore. I just don't have that pain anymore. I mean, I'm telling you, this is so amazing to me. And so y'all, we have solutions now and not just band-aids. And so go get healthy and get happy. And that's all I got.
Hello, my name is George Teets. I have been on the P90 Plus for a little over 4 months. I'm 73, and I've had a lot of issues, the worst being an autoimmune disorder that started in 2019. But what I noticed with the P90 Plus within the first few days was my energy level, my mental clarity. I just felt so great. It was like a new me. I didn't know really what was going on, but it was just so enjoyable to be out with the grandkids, playing, talking to them, chasing them. And I was just after the first few days. Now, about 2.5 years ago, I developed lower back pain. So I thought, well, let's see what it does with that. Now, this took a little bit longer, maybe 3 weeks. And all of a sudden, I realized my lower back pain, it was almost gone. And to this day, it's still almost gone. It didn't completely go away, but it was so bad in the beginning that if I stood up for 15, 20 minutes, I had to sit down. The pain was too much. I could not deal with it. And now I was telling some of my friends, now I get the weed eater out when my son decides he needs to do yard work, and I'm all over the place with the weed eater. I'll spend an hour and a half, 2 hours with it, and sit down occasionally, get some water, get right back up. No pain, no, I'm not tired, nothing. And now the last thing, which okay, so I get blood work twice a year because of my age, and I just had some done, went to my general, and she said, okay, let's talk about your blood work. And I said, okay. And she had this look on her face like, oh my, and I looked at her and going, okay, what's wrong? Something's wrong. And she said, no, it's great. And I looked at him going, what do you mean it's great? No, it's just really, really good. Well, when I got home, I decided, okay, I gotta understand this more. So I went onto my back office where I can go and I look at all of my results and stuff. And I went back to 2021, Now, I don't know if I can say the blood type of blood work that was done, but there's about 5 or 6 items, and it's very common, and everybody looks at them. And it completely destroyed everything going back to 2021. Everything was improved, and not just a little bit. It was improved a lot. So that's my story, and it's a blessing. It really is a blessing.
Well, there you have it. There you have it. I mean, 10 incredible testimonials tonight. And listen, if you're watching this tonight, if you're watching the replay or whatever, this is just 10 testimonials of literally thousands. Thousands of people are getting incredible results. And, listen, there's a lot of emotions with these devices. It'll bring out emotions in you because it literally changing people's lives. Does everybody get results day one? No. Okay. Most people find out they sleep better pretty quickly, but everybody's different. So everybody takes their amount of time that works for them. It took me about 3 weeks to get rid of my pain. Everybody's different, but I encourage you, if you don't have one of these devices yet, do yourself a favor and get one. And then you know what? You're going to love them so much. You're going to want to share them with the world. You will. It's just going to happen. That's what's happening with our company. So I want to thank Andrea, Karen, Shia, Kendra, Anna, Curtis, Dee, Kristen, Angie, and George for doing this tonight. I really appreciate all of you guys. And for those of you that are watching or watching the replay, I hope you got some out of this today by watching this. And we hope you get a device, and we hope it changes your life as well as it's changed ours. So thank you so much, everybody. Take care. Have a great evening. Bye-bye, everybody.